Hi and welcome to Ratatap. I'm delighted to say we've got Matt Boulter with us today from the Lucky Strikes and MG Boulter fame, of course. Welcome, Matt. Thanks for sparing the time.
Thank you.
How have you been?
Very well.
We're just going to ask you a couple of questions about your involvement in the music industry and get your viewpoints on a few things. So, can you start off by telling us who you are, what you do, a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a musician. I play in lots of different bands. I'm based in Southend in Essex. I'm the lead singer and guitarist in a band called the Lucky Strikes. I'm also do a lot of solo work under the name MG Boulter, and I also do session work. I play with various acts worldwide, doing live and studio work.
Excellent. How long have you been playing music for?
I've been playing the guitar since I was about 11, so about 20 plus years. 20 plus years.
Keep it back.
Yeah.
What got you into music in the first place?
It's an interesting question. I think I kind of fell into it because at school, some friends were forming a band. You know, when you're young, you just get into rock bands and you all want to be sort of rock stars. Yeah. And some friends of mine were forming a band and I had no musical ability or interest. But I had to say I learnt or knew an instrument to get into this band, which I did, you know, I said I did. And then it just grew from there. I found out actually it was my passion.
And which instrument did you start with, the guitar?
Harmonica. It was the very first instrument, yeah, for about a year before I moved on to guitar.
And you play a few other instruments as well?
Yeah, I play pedal steel guitar, lap steel, which gets me a lot of work, banjo, mandolin, so I play lots of stringed instruments.
Excellent, okay. I'd like to talk a little bit about the Lucky Strikes.
Yep. We formed in 2006. We met in a pub. It doesn't sound too exciting, but we met in a pub in Southend in Essex, and we found we had a sort of mutual love of certain types of music, and we were all solo performers doing other things at open mic nights, and we met at this open mic night and we just decided that it might be fun to start a band, and we've stayed with it ever since.
Was that quite a chance encounter?
It was in a way, yeah. I was playing lap steel with the lead singer at the time, the guitarist and lead singer, and then he knew the other guitarist and he knew the drummer, so it was just through loose connections with everyone that you all discovered.
So making those connections is quite an important part.
Oh, it's all about that, yeah.
You've put a couple of albums out, both as a solo artist and with Lucky Strikes.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest part about doing that, and what's been involved in putting a record together and getting it out there?
I think putting your own records together, and even if you don't, you've got a record company helping you with certain bits. The amount of work and effort and dedication is 100%. It's such a busy, sometimes stressful thing. Ultimately rewarding, but I mean, if you're doing your own project, you've got to source the right sound engineer, recording engineer. So you've got to find the right studio. You've got to find somebody that understands your sound and is going to work with you on forming that sound and creating that sound. If you're going to make CDs, you've got to find an artist who's going to do a good front cover. You've got to find a graphic designer to make sure that that all works onto a template. You've then got to find a printer to print the CDs, to professionally print the CDs, and whatever level you're doing, that's all involved. So it's a massive thing, and then you've got to write the songs and perform them as well.
Okay.
So,
did you find that there was actually more involved than you thought there would be?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the records I do, I plan for about 9 to 10 months to complete a record, because you know, regardless of whether you've written the songs or not, actually getting into a studio, working on songs, making sure they're right, and then going through the whole process of sound engineering that, mastering it, cutting it, sequencing it, and getting the product together.
Yeah.
You know, because as artists you want to control the product as well, the look of it, the feel of it, the sound, everything, and that takes a lot of time. So
do you think it's fair to say that there's a lot more people behind a record than just the musicians?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
And without those people, you'd be struggling.
Definitely, yeah. It's a team effort.
How easy is it to get hold of those kinds of people, like a CD printer?
I think it's about finding the right people for what you're doing, and it's easier with the internet. It's now a lot easier with the internet, but you've got to find people that do the things that you want at the right price. So you're saying a CD manufacturer, you know, there are literally hundreds in the UK alone that will print CDs, but you've got to find the one that does the right price for you. You know, are they going to post it for free? What sort of finishing do they do? Do they do glass mastering finishing, or are they CDRs? What sort of envelope you want and how much that's going to cost you, what sort of colours you want to use. And there's such a breadth of options out there that you've really got to know what you want, I think, and you've got to do a lot of exploring. It takes a lot of work to find out who you want. You know, music is such a cooperative, creative thing that business is involved, obviously, because CD manufacturers need to make their money. But if there was a hub or an area that you could go to that was trustworthy, where the people involved in that hub actually knew what a musician wanted or what other people in that industry wanted, you'd probably save yourself a lot of time. And that's the thing, it's finding the people you trust, collaboration.
Hi, I'm MG Boulter from the Lucky Strikes. Tap in.